Welcome back to my Colorado Mountain Garden and Homestead. And before I get started on this second video on making seed tape, if you're watching the video and you happen to like it, please give a thumbs up inside the video. It helps me know that people are actually watching it and liking what's there. If you have questions, you can always comment on the video. I always put a link to my public Facebook page below the videos. So if you want to go there, because I don't always make video updates on everything I'm doing just because it takes time. I'm not looking to be one of those people that makes $1 million off of YouTube. I am trying to do this. I mean, I'm getting older now, so trying to pass as much knowledge as I can off to others, no matter their age. So that everybody knows how to grow things. I think it's important if you have an area, even if it's a little patio, that you grow something, even if it's just a flower. I grow mostly vegetables, but I do grow flowers also. So we're going to move right along. If you watched the first video where I showed this seed tape, which is dissolvable. I showed you how it dissolved and everything like that. I just want to give you a little bit of an update. It is called Smart Solve. So SmartSolve. I know they sell it on Amazon. I'm sure they sell it other places. Smart Solve also has a website, and they sell all sorts of stuff, not just the tape. Now, what I'm using is a 1-inch tape, like I said. And so when you fold it in half like this, you basically have a 1/2 inch. And that can be a little cumbersome. Now, these cute little pretty trays here, these are for making tacos. We start eating a lot more street tacos, so it's a lot easier for us to put our tacos into these. But before I had these, I used the back of a muffin pan to hold the tape open so that I could apply the seeds. Now, the Smart Solve tape, I did not see on Amazon that they have the 1-inch anymore, but they have the 2-inch, which I told you I'm going to move to. And it is $21.99 for the 2-inch, and it's 60 yards. So there's 36 inches in a yard. So 60 yards is going to make you 2,160 inches of seed tape. And no, I don't know this all off the top of my head. So for me, I believe this was 60 yards. I can't remember because I don't have the packaging anymore. But at that current price and everything like that, I could make 120 seed tapes, 18 inches long. So that's a lot of seed tape. The seeds that I'm using in this video for the example are the French breakfast radishes, which we like a lot. I'm just going to go ahead and pick it up here so you can see. Now, this tape is not super sticky. I mean, it is sticky, but it's not super sticky. So I pulled off. So first, after I measured it out, I went ahead and I folded it in half. So it was folded in half like this, and I just try and crease it. And you can see that this is a 1/2 inch wide. Okay. So then you can pull the backing off, and it's easier if it's set in something where the seeds kind of go towards, hang on here. Let me get this up here, towards that center crease. Now, I'm not perfect at putting these out. That one's doubled up. But after you get that doubled up like that, and it looks like this here, before you take that paper backing, which I just showed you, which is this, off. And then once you make your tape, then you finish folding it in half so you can kind of see if I can get it up here. You can kind of see the seeds in there. And they're actually spaced a little closer together. And then I just used a ballpoint pen and I wrote radish on here. Now the only types of radish I'm growing this year is the French breakfast. It's our favorite. So that's what I'm doing. So I'll end up probably with 3 rows of radishes. There's only 2 of us. So if we have too many, a lot of them may not get eaten. Now the radishes you sow in the soil about a 1/4 inch deep. Things like spinach are a 1/2 inch deep. Lettuce is a 1/4 inch. So you kind of just have to look at your package and know before you go out to your garden. Now, when I get my garden bed ready out in the little greenhouse, I basically, it's already been amended with whatever type of amendments you want to use. And it's been watered well, so it's moist. And then I flatten out the areas. I try to make it as flat as possible. And then I'll have extra, it's usually just compost. And I use the Costa Maine Cottage Blend compost. Maybe some worm castings and stuff like that. So once I lay this seed tape down flat on my soil, then I'll come back over and add however much soil I need to. So in the case of radishes and lettuce, that's a 1/4 inch. In the case of something like a spinach, it's a 1/2 inch. So sometimes I have to clear out a little bit deeper area. Now, I mentioned to you that I used to make seed tape. I used to buy seed tape and I used to make seed tape. And one of the big things, and it always seems like here in the Colorado mountains, there's some sort of little breeze. So if you think of this as a piece of toilet paper, actually, we'll just pull a piece of paper towel out here. Hang on. So if I had made it out of paper towel, it's going to be flimsy, even more so for toilet paper. The seed tape that they sell also is very flimsy because that's made out of almost like a tissue type paper. And then it's pressed together around the seed. So there's a machine that does that. And I would be laying seed tape out because I try to do this all at once if I can. I'll be laying seed tape out and then a breeze comes up and everything blows around. So the thing with this is that it's pretty heavy. I mean, it almost, yeah, it'll bend, but it's kind of stiff. So when you lay it down, it stays in place. So you can kind of get everything lined up. And then if you want to go back, like let's say you get usually I do radishes and then carrots. I actually put the carrots in first because that's the sunnier end, and then the radishes after that. So you can lay those down and then you can cover those ones up and then move on to your lettuce or whatever down your bed. But at least you know where you're at, where you stop, finish. You know exactly how far. Most lettuces, radishes, and things like carrots, they want them, depends on which channel you're looking at. They want them 1 inch to 2 inches as far as how much space is in between the rows. But I am a big proponent of overseeding. I don't think there's really a rule about it. I haven't had a problem. Now with lettuce, radish, and carrots, you do have to do more thinning, but I compact my plants into every inch that I can so I can use that space. And all I do is I just have a little plastic trash bag. It's like a 10-gallon trash bag that I can stick these seeds in so that they won't get wet or anything like that before I'm ready to plant. So I can make them weeks in advance if I wanted to. And as long as they don't get wet, they won't germinate. They won't anything. I mean, most seeds, they want you to keep it in a cool, dry, dark place. So you can put them up in your closet. Maybe you're bored in the middle of winter and you've already got most of your seeds ready or have purchased them, and you want to get ahead of the game for the next year. Or you want to give your kids a project. The little guys can't really do it as well, but it's a pretty good project for the preteens and teens, to have them help you make these seeds. And it's easy to cut this to length. You don't have to mix up any cornstarch and then dabble little dots on and then put seeds on. It goes pretty fast. I usually I cut all my lengths that I think I'm going to need. Like, let's say I'm doing 3 rows of this, 6 of that, whatever. But then you can also have it for the future. So if I had already started and planted some of these seeds, we'll say it's spinach, and I got them in and, they've germinated and started, and then I wanted to do a succession planting right behind. So maybe I do 3 rows of spinach, let it get up and started. Then right next to it, in a few weeks after that gets going, I could plant 3 more rows so that your spinach crop, you're getting as much as you can from the spinach or the lettuce or whatever it is. Now, that's going to be dependent on how long it takes it to grow. In Colorado, here in the mountains, it's cold, so a lot of times the seeds don't germinate quite as fast. The other thing that I like about this versus broadcast spreading is you can see these seeds look like dirt. Little dirt pieces. So you can't see them very well. If you just make a little trench and start plopping seeds in, you really can't see where they're at or anything like that. When they're loose like that, they can shift around a little bit. Thus why the seed tape, you get more of a straight line. Any seed tape. I don't care if you make it with toilet paper or purchase it. You get more of a straight line because it kind of holds them in place until the first couple waterings. So after I get, when my bed's ready, it's already moist underneath. Put the seed tape down. I put the dirt on top. And then I use a fine misting spray and I spray the top really well, that whole bed. I wait till I plan out that bed with as much seed tape as I'm going to use. And then I let it sit, 15, 20 minutes, and I come back and I spray it again. So it kind of holds those seeds in place. I hope all this makes sense to you. Again, that the tape name is called Smart Solve, and you can look at the ingredients on there. They make other products. They don't just make tape. You can use seeds from anyone with this. I'm not really sure what else I could tell you. The only math I didn't do is because it just depends on how much and where you buy your seed tape from, how much this would save you. You still have to buy seeds. When you buy seed tape, the seeds are in there, so you have to kind of figure that in. But seeds are, especially things like radishes and carrots, you get a lot of them in a package, and even lettuce, you get a lot of them in a package, and so they're fairly cheap. And this helps thinning, so you're not putting in a ton and having to do as much thinning. For me, I got lazy even before I got as old as I am now, and it's easier for me to just go set the tape down versus having to try and plant all those little seeds. So if you have questions, you can ask me on the Facebook page or you can ask me here. I am an open book. This is what I do. It's again, once again, there's no rules in gardening. I just try to give people my best advice in what has worked for me. So I hope you're having a wonderful day and happy gardening.